Fuck it. Sky, guard you.
We spoke the traditional words of greeting to a dragonborn who has accepted our guidance. The same words were used to greet the young Talos when he came to High Hrothgar before he became the Emperor Tiber Septim. I sometimes forget you are not versed in the dragon tongue as we are. This is a rough translation. Long has the storm crown languished, with no worthy brow to sit upon. By our breath we bestow it now to you, in the name of Kine, in the name of Shor, and in the name of Atmora of old. You are Ismir now, the dragon of the North. Hearken to it. You have learned so much already, Dragonborn. Growing your gift too quickly would be dangerous. But there are many words of power in Skyrim carved in the dragon tongue. Even from here we can feel the Thum resonate from them. Finding these lost words would be a sufficient test to temper your abilities with experience. Ask when you are ready to search.
No doubt, the appearance of a dragonborn at this time is not an accident. Your destiny is surely bound up with the return of the dragons. You should focus on honing your voice, and soon your path will be made clear. We have felt the whisper of a word. Give me your map and I will show you where its echo can be found. Wind, guide you.
Helm said he saw you speaking to one of the pilgrims on the 7,000 steps. I told you there was more.
I know what you say, but I only wanted to speak to him for a moment.
Well, it stops now. It's fine.
Some advice, friend. That armor won't offer much protection in a real fight.
Now here's a man I'm glad to see. Honest pay for honest work. 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 It's frightening living below their monastery. Sometimes I swear I can hear strange noises rolling down from up there. It sounds like thunder, but there's never any rain. What do you make of that? Sure, leave. Everyone else does.
Sugar and sands. Yes, perhaps you can. There is something foul afoot, friend. Taraki can smell the stench of betrayal in the air. Your nose is not attuned to deceit. Daraki smells the lie, but he cannot confirm it. To some, an unconfirmed lie is the same as the truth. But Daraki is not the kind to agree to something simply on faith. Daraki talks of the steps to High Hrothgar. Many travelers come to walk the pilgrimage of the 7,000 steps. Yet Daraki finds that number peculiar. Do you not find it odd that the number is so round? Was the path altered to match the myth? Are the steps not all the same size? I have found it difficult to believe, based on my calculations, that there can be any more than 6,972 steps. Exactly. A much more believable number. Still, it is just a ceiling. Daraki believes the actual number may be 10 or 20 steps lower. You can choose to ignore the truth, but Daraki will not. The steps must be counted one by one. But you must. Daraki is not strong enough to fight off the trolls and bears and saber-cats on the path. Daraki suspects they were put there on purpose, to interrupt those who wish to count the steps. It is about trust. You see, Daraki did not come to Skyrim alone. His childhood friend Adanya was by his side. Adanya had heard Khajiit caravans were thriving here. She begged Daraki to come with her. Adanya had promised Daraki that she would never leave his side. She vowed that she would never leave him alone in this cold, terrible place. But that was a lie. We had come through the gate to the south from Cyrodiil. We followed the road north when we were ambushed by bandits. There were so many of them. Daraki did not know what to do. That is when Adanya did a terrible thing. She pushed Daraki into the trees, threw herself at the bandits, and Daraki, he saw her die. And all he could do, all he did, was run. Forgive me. Daraki has said too much. His only concern now is that his trust is not betrayed again. Really? This is most fortuitous. Daraki had almost given up all hope. But do not rush. Take your time and return when you have an answer.
A 1,000 years from now, Skyrim will have changed rulers dozens of times, but the return of the dragons, that story is once in an era. Take a look. Till next time.
trouble. Can I help you? Well, I've mostly learned it's dangerous. There are more than beasts out there in the wilderness. Ever seen a hag raven? Witches with faces like wrinkled potato skin. Safe travels.
Welcome to the Villamere Inn. If there's anything I can get you, just
You want a
let me
drink?
know.
Depends. Are you thirsty, hungry, both? Depends. Are you thirsty, hungry, both? I play the lute. If you'd like to hear something, it only costs 5 gold. Why, thank you. You're very kind. Still interested? Why, thank you. You're very kind. Still interested? Thank you, my lord.
Have you spoken to Fastred yet?
No, I'll tell you, Wilhelm. If I could sweep her away from here tomorrow, I'd do it. But Klimek still has so much to learn.
Klimek is doing just fine. You should follow your heart.
Perhaps one day, but not today.
They say the college has been snooping around Sarthal. Mages in a burial crypt. No good can come of that.
This has to be the worst place in Skyrim to run a mill. How am I supposed to do anything with all those bears running around? Just get out of my way. I've got work to do.
We don't get many visitors through here. Unless they're headed up to High Hrothgar, of course. People say there's someone in Riften that can change your face. Make you look completely different. Do you believe that? Of course. It's all in this note. Need a room? Maybe a drink? You name it. Drink for the thirsty, food for the hungry. Sure thing. It's yours for a day. Of course. I'll show you to your room. Right this way. Let me know if there's anything else you need.
I think you should continue with your performances.
What's the point? I'm not very good, and it's only for the same few people every night.
I think you played beautifully.
Hmm?
It would be a shame if you stopped.
All right, dear Henry.
Hmm?
I suppose
Oh!
it's the least.
Oh, you made Daraki lose count again.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
before I do something drastic.
She doesn't have the scar.
What? Oh, you're right.
We've made a mistake. Move along before that mountain goes into your trouble.
Next time you're looking to pester someone, make sure it's the right person. Foreigners. What a nuisance. They thought I was some other Red Guard woman. They just wouldn't leave me alone. I hope they get lost in the wilderness.
Greetings, brother. You look weary. I have something to help you relax, if you're interested. The finest skooma, the sweetest moon sugar, at a fair price, of course. Ah, a snitch, eh? Can't have you running to any guards now, can I? Never should have come here. I'll try and make this quick.
Traveler, are you by chance in need of a companion? Me? No, you dunce! I wasn't talking about me! I was talking about the dog. That's not a smart move, considering the dog's pedigree. It's no doubt the latest in a grand line of imbeciles with more urine than sense. But don't let me dissuade you. I'm sure you'll have considerable success teaching it to fetch your slippers in the morning. Of course, good luck teaching it not to soil them first. How should I know? It doesn't respond to imbecile, and I can't think of a more appropriate name. So for now, I've resorted to calling it Dog. You sound like a Dury. She suggested we named it Barkrenzia or something childish like that. At least Avruz offered a male name. She suggested we name the fowl Matsindarion. She must have really hated the alchemist if she leaves his legacy in the mouth of this slobbering beast. I didn't find the cretin. I never wanted him to follow me. It was just bad luck. Well, it all has to do with the price of troll fat. It's been dropping like flies ever since the book Finn's Guide to Troll Slaying got published. Since I already own a considerable stash, it's in my best interest to kill as many trolls as I can and make the items scarce. I usually track their footprints and follow them to their lairs. They typically aren't very happy to see me. Except this one time they were too busy cornering this mangy dog and the army of fleas in its garrison. That's right. Funny thing is, if I hadn't killed the trolls, this dog would probably have annoyed them to death. Which is precisely what it's doing to me now. In fact, I think the mongrel is trying to kill me by having me commit suicide. It was a coincidence, an unfortunate side effect. At no point did I attempt to do it any favors. In fact, if I had to do it all over again, I might have spared the trolls and used all my remaining magicka on the dog. Like the dog? I don't like fleas, I don't like unpleasant smells, having my face licked, or loud barking in the middle of the night. I haven't the faintest idea why you'd think I'd enjoy the company of this dirty, flea-ridden cacophony of fur. I usually track their footprints and follow them to their lairs. They typically aren't very happy to see me. Except this one time they were too busy cornering this mangy dog and the army of fleas in its garrison. That's right. Funny thing is, if I hadn't killed the trolls, this dog would probably have annoyed them to death. Which is precisely what it's doing to me now. In fact, I think the mongrel is trying to kill me by having me commit suicide. How should I know? It doesn't respond to imbecile, and I can't think of a more appropriate name. So for now, I've resorted to calling it Dog. Safe travels. Man's best friend? More like Mur's worst nightmare. The dog does serve as excellent troll bait, or any bait for that matter. I can't begin to fathom how many enemies this beast has made in its travels throughout Skyrim. Well, outside of that, the only quality that sets it apart is the impossible amount of urine it holds in its bladder. Frankly, the dog is a prodigy in this regard, and I can see how it might be useful if you directed it at the right people. The problem is, he refuses to urinate on anyone but his master, and that's a title I would give my left ear and 3 of my toes to remove. There's the crux of the matter. You referring to it as him. It isn't capable of being trained. It's not a person. It's a dog. Yes, it fails to grasp that I want to murder it. Funny, because that's all I ever think about. Oh, I guess it's true what they say. Tamriel would be a much better place if we could all be the kind of people the dogs think we are. My ancestors came from Vivek City. When the Red Mountains found its voice, nearly all of Vardenfell fled west to Skyrim. My mother migrated here with the Serethi clan and worked at the farm that bears their name. Well, she was a free spirit, so while she came to help out, she didn't stay long. She'd leave on these crazy adventures, and that's where she met my father. I never even knew his name. But it doesn't matter. As far as I'm concerned, the only name he'll ever have is that of a vile dog. She was a capricious woman with a passion for life. Even in her later years, she tells stories about art, adventure, and love. She told me Avruza used to be the same, but tragedy and war toughened her resolve. Most people who've lived hard lives, they're always worried about the future. But my mother always lived for the present. What's tomorrow but future's past? And what's yesterday but ancient history? Indeed, she was from another time. Her love had no limit, and her heart belonged to all. But children of war and famine, our hearts belong to no one. Very well. And what of you, traveler? Where do you hail from? That's a shame. To wander off without a place to return to is a lonely existence. My mother was proof of that. She had a strong love of life and all it had to offer, but at times, it felt like that love was unrequited. She would always be an outsider. Wherever she went, it would never be home. That's why I go back to Serethi Farm every night. I don't want to share her fate. About time.
I'll show you a real fight.
Come back here. There you are.
What's he gonna do? Huh? What's he
I'll
gonna
put
do?
you in the crowd.
Come on. It'll be so much easier to rob when you're
Dead! Here! Fight! You won't get away with that!
Can't wait to count out your cost.
You're a fool to test me. Last mistake. You're a disgrace to your own kind.
You won't get the best of me!
Like the bite of a flea! Give up while you still can! nothing! You're gonna die for that. You're dead. You hear me?